Hey guys, what is up? It's Andy. She blinded me with refractors. I thought I would do my YouTube sports card Hall of Fame announcement a little bit different, I guess, this year. Thought I would just go ahead and pop on here and do it live. So, Mike, don't worry. I will put the links to the channel in the description because you never know how long these things will go. So I won't make you watch the whole thing. So yeah, don't worry about that. So this is always, a somewhat difficult process because, everybody has a different criteria, I guess, that they will go with. So here, I'll just kind of try to explain a little bit my criteria. And I guess another good thing about doing this live is if somebody wants to yell at me, they can just do it on here. They don't have to wait until the comments of the video. The first thing I put down for criteria, pretty simple. Do I enjoy your channel? So I'm not the kind of person that's like, I don't nominate people that I don't watch their channel. And this community has grown so much. There's a lot of great channels out there that I just don't have the time to watch everybody's channel. There's a lot of, great channels out there that probably should be in this that I don't even know about. And I'm sure there's, a lot of us are like that. Hey, what's up? Beans Ball Card Blog. Yeah. Roll Rumble. That's good. So do I enjoy your channel? That's the first thing I wrote down. Does sub count matter? And you get a lot of different thoughts and opinions on that from people that vote on this. And, that's fine. Everybody can have their own opinion. It doesn't really matter to me because, like I said, if your sub count is like 20,000 and I don't like your channel, that's cool. But there's a lot of people that like it. But if I don't watch it, I'm not going to vote for it. Does longevity matter? This is another thing that, a lot of people kind of debate about this. Does longevity matter? To me, it does not. And the reason why is because the qualifications to be nominated for this is you have to have been making YouTube sports card content for 1 year. So, if they've done it for 1 year, that's long enough for me. There's a ton of channels that are probably worthy of being nominated that, they may have been on here long before I was, but I can't nominate somebody if I don't know about them or if I don't watch them because they're not around anymore. So I just can't vote for those type of channels. And it's fine. I don't have any problem with how anybody else does theirs. I'm just kind of laying out my criteria. Things I like about channels. Quality people, number one. I think I think six of the 10 channels that I'm going to nominate, I've actually met these people in person. And the other 4, I have communicated with in some form or another, whether it be on the phone, texting back and forth, being on a live stream with them on YouTube, however it may be. So I've had communication with all of these people, and to me, they're all quality people. So that matters to me. Passion for the hobby, that's another thing. There's a lot of channels that have popped up over the last year during this, new hobby boom or whatever. And, a lot of these channels, they kind of have their, they have their own agenda, I guess, which that's fine. They can, they can have that agenda, and a lot of it, doesn't really have a lot to do with passion for the hobby, but that's another story. Things I don't like about channels. These are just kind of like my pet peeves, I guess. Some people like this stuff, and that's fine. Goofy thumbnails, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not. It's not gonna, like, when somebody has like the goofy thumbnail where they're like pointing up to the card or pointing up to the little stock market ticker or whatever. that makes me less likely to click on your video than it does more likely. Clickbait titles, I'm not a fan of. I just don't see the point in that, because if you say you're going to be discussing something and all of a sudden you're talking about something completely different, I mean, I'm just going to click off at that point. So I guess, those type of people that do that, I mean, they must be, really jonesing for the views, and that's fine. All right, so we got a few people in here. What's up, guys? So we'll go ahead and get started here, and then after I talk about the 10 channels, like if anybody wants to stay on here and just kind of hang out and talk about other stuff, we can do that too. So there's 3 channels that I voted for last year that didn't make it, that are on my ballot. The first one is my good friend from the West Coast, has one of the best collections around, one of the best channels around. He nails the lighting, and his collection is just, I mean, it's just as good as anybody's. And that is my good friend, Rated Rookie, Josh. So yeah, I mean, Josh and I, we talk on a pretty regular basis, and we just discuss all kinds of things. And if he thinks that one of these days he's gonna get me out to California and take me surfing. So we'll see about that, Josh. We'll see. I mean, I'm not gonna say no, but Josh has 1,300 subs. Like I said, the sub counts, I'll tell you guys how many subs each channel has, but I mean, it doesn't matter to me, and you'll see that with the list. I mean, like I have 2 channels on here that probably have more subs than all the others put together, so it doesn't matter to me. And these are in no particular order, but these first 3 are people that I did vote for last year, and I'm voting for them again. Number 2, Bill, the Hall of Fame collector. So he has a Hall of Fame in his name, guys. I mean, that's Hall of Fame worthy right off the top there. Bill has a great collection, Hall of Fame autographs. He does baseball, basketball, primarily. He's really gotten into 90s inserts, and specifically Greg Maddox 90s inserts. So that's been a nice change of pace for his channel for this past year. And I really enjoy just the way that he breaks down the cards, talks about the odds, the pack odds, and all that kind of stuff. That is interesting to me. So Bill, the Hall of Fame collector, is my second. Number 3, Mike and Luke, the father-son tandem of Up North collectors. This is really the only breaker channel that I have on this list. And I think the reason why is because, like, I don't really watch a lot of breaker channels anymore, because Mike and Luke, they break so much new product. That's kind of like a one-stop shop for me. So I don't really have to like go watch a bunch of different channels if I want to see what a product looks like, because the odds are that they're going to break some of it. And I know those guys, those are great guys. And if I'm going to watch somebody break something, I would just, assume it be them. And I love the interaction that they have with each other. They're really funny. So they add some entertainment value to the break as well. Speaking of entertainment, number 4, Stof Collector. Stof investor, Stof whatever he wants to call himself, Mark. Now, Mark's been on a lot of people's lists. And the thing that people always talk about with Mark is just how funny he is, his editing skills with video and all that stuff. So I got a chance to hang out with Mark a little bit at the National. Well, I guess it's been almost 2 years ago now at the National. And you're right, Mark is funny. He's very fun to hang around with. But the thing that I think kind of gets lost a lot with when people talk about Mark is, man, he knows cards. Like, he really does. Like, I can remember at the time he was looking for the 2018 Topps Chrome update, Juan Soto. So he finally found one at the show and picked it up. I think at the time, like that may have been, I don't know, a couple $100, right? And if you look at that card now, I think it's, I don't know, it's probably $2,500, $3,000. Mark knows his stuff. Now, is he most well known for his comedy? Sure. But trust me, Mark knows cards. Number 5, Jeremy IP TTM. Just another great guy. Like, I haven't got to meet Jeremy in person yet, so I really look forward to doing that. But Jeremy's channel, man, he's gonna show you, like, you know, his recent pickups, PSA submissions. I love the videos where he completes the page on a binder when he's working on a set. I think that's an interesting touch that's really unique. But he's just a great dude. Like, occasionally I'll get something in the mail from Jeremy, and, you know, just be like, hey man, I thought of you when I saw this Russell Westbrook card, and he just sends it to me. I mean, he's just such a great guy, and I really look forward to meeting Jeremy. Number 6, another guy that I interact with quite often, either on the phone or through text, but I haven't got to meet him in person yet. So I'm hoping maybe he'll get to go to this national, and that's Dane, Cardtex 710. Dane is another one of those guys. Like, he has a great collection, but just super generous guy. I think anybody that knows Dane will say that. I've done some PSA orders with Dane where I'll send him the cards and he'll send in the order. I'll get the cards back a few months later and I'll start looking at them. I'll be like, hey, I don't remember sending this in. And Dane will just have casually slipped in a few PSA 10s from his order. So, I mean, just stuff like that, man. Some of these guys, like, they really fly under the radar. So going back to the sub counts, and like I said, these don't really matter, but just to kind of show you how some of these guys fly under the radar. Bill had 631. Up North Collectors had 15,000. That's quite a bit for this community. Stof Collector 621. Jeremy IP TTM only 329. I mean, these are the guys that I watch. Like, to me, these are some of the best channels on here. Dane 422. Like, all of these guys should be way more, in my opinion. I could, you know, that's just my opinion. Number 7, Bart the PSAcard guy. I've seen him on a lot of people's videos so far, and of course, he's very deserving. I think his PSA card collection is like, I mean, I'll probably underestimate it, but I'm thinking it's like 4,000 cards. He's constantly sending in PSA cards, getting them in the mail. Primarily a football card guy, but if you watched his top 50 cards video, I mean, just some absolutely crazy stuff. So, hey, Bill, what's up, man? Lou Rock, what's happening? Bill, you just missed it, man. You got my vote, buddy. So number 8. Number 8 is a guy that I haven't seen on anybody's video so far. And I think I probably know why, but I have to put him on mine. And that is Card Collector 2, which is Ryan Johnson. I think one of the reasons that, you know, maybe he's not on a lot of people's lists, or actually he has not been on anybody's list that I've seen thus far. He probably doesn't interact with the community as much as a lot of people do. You know, he runs a full-time card shop. So yeah, he's, you know, mostly dealing with business, but just all the different things that Ryan does for this hobby, and his channel is tremendous, but just a lot of the stuff that he does for the hobby too in his shop. Like, you know, he gives away free cards to kids. Him and his wife, each year for Christmas, they do a toy drive for underprivileged kids. And Ryan, I mean, he's just super nice dude. Like, there's a lot of, you know, bigger channels out there that, you know, have some questionable people that are running those channels. But Ryan is definitely, he's one of those guys that I would vouch for anytime. I mean, he's just a tremendous asset to the hobby. And like I said, his content is great. He does a podcast called Card Talk with Tyler and Lou. And man, it's just a great listen. So yeah, check that out if you guys haven't checked it out. Number 9, this guy right here. I haven't really heard him a lot on people's lists either, but just one of the best dudes in the hobby, in my opinion, and that is Abel in Vegas. I had a great time hanging out with Abel a couple of years ago at the National. Got to sit down and eat some dinner with a couple of guys, Abel being one of them, and just a tremendous amount of knowledge that Abel has. He's been doing this for a long time. He's been doing YouTube for a long time, and he brings a lot to the table. Like if you watch his videos, he's always trying new things. Yeah, I mean, it's just he's just a good dude. I mean, no doubt about it. Abel in Vegas, he's very deserving in my opinion, and he gets my vote. Let me see some of the comments here. Yeah, Lou Rock. Yeah, you're right. He runs a business, and it is kind of like a blog. Like I said, that's probably why he doesn't get a lot of votes in this type of deal. But yeah, I mean, he's just a great dude. Yeah, Abel, or I mean Bill. So you're right. Yeah, Abel's top notch, man, in my book. Number 10 on my list, stealing second, Sean. Another great guy. Sean he's a great community guy too. Like sometimes there'll be I don't know if you guys know this, but like sometimes in the YouTube sports card world, there can be a little bit of turmoil, right? It's almost like, you got this side and that side, whatever. Sean's a neutral guy, man. He's kind of like me. Like, I feel like he can be friends with everyone. Like, he's just chilled, laid back, great dude, great collection. He's a Cubs fan, so that obviously helps in my book. Probably not everybody's, but that helps in my book. But yeah, those are the 10 channels that I selected for this year. And I definitely think a few of these guys will for sure get in. And even the ones that may not get in, I just wanted to put their name out there to maybe, get them some exposure, because there's some of these guys, man, some of these guys that are, 300, 400, 500 subscribers. I mean, to me, these guys' channels are way better than a lot of people I've seen that have, 25,000, 30,000 subscribers. So that was kind of my thinking as far as like why the subscriber count doesn't matter to me, because it doesn't affect who I watch. Like you get these recommended videos all the time in your YouTube feed, and I rarely watch those because every time I click on one of those, it's, within a minute or so, I'm ready to click off of it. Hey, the commission approves of this ballot. Yeah, Mike, I didn't know if you were going to be on here, so I will put the link to all these channels in the description, because I didn't know how long this would go, so I didn't want you to have to watch all of this. Oh, dude, Bill, are you doing all right, man? I didn't know that. Blue Rock, I'll definitely put the links in the description of the video whenever it gets posted. Yeah, I was thinking about, I almost did this yesterday, but I thought that might be too much Hall of Fame action for one day. Not that there really was any action as far as the real baseball Hall of Fame goes. So were you guys somewhat surprised that no one got in the baseball Hall of Fame this year? I was a little bit surprised. I wasn't necessarily shocked about that. I knew that Bonds and Clemens, they kind of had that early momentum, but that usually usually it seems to me anyway, like your percentages will go down as more people, the people that vote at the end tend to not like those guys too much. Yeah, Mike, I watched your video. I know you were disappointed. I was a little bit surprised that Schilling didn't get in. I wasn't shocked because, the reason I say I wasn't shocked is because to me he's somewhat borderline anyway. I mean, and I guess the way I look at it is if you're still on the ballot after 10 years, then I mean you weren't like a shoe-in, that's for sure, to make it. And I saw some of the stuff that he said afterwards. He wasn't real happy apparently. But I mean, his percentage actually has gone up over the last few years, even with, a lot of the things that he has stated that, that people weren't happy about. So I don't know. I think I don't think he helped his chances next year. That's for sure. Let's see. I'll put this up here. I'll put this up here for you, Bill. Yeah, I mean, like if I had a vote, I would probably vote for Schilling, but I mean, to me, he's not one of those no-brainer guys. That's for sure. I mean, it's I can see a debate about it, but I mean, I would probably vote for him. I'm not sure. I know you're asking Mike this, but I'm not sure, Lou Rock. I know he's another one of those guys to me that he was very good, but I don't know. I'm not sure that he will make it without it being on the Veterans Committee. Hey, Dave. 4 years, Mike says. So, Mike, do you think that Omar will get in eventually or no? I think it'll have to be like a Veterans Committee type deal for Omar. I mean, he was very good, but I know I've talked about this with several people before, and Mike being one of the people I've talked with this about. Like, I would be a very difficult Hall of Fame voter because, like, I'm the kind of person, like, I would only vote for like the absolute elite of the elite. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I mean, a lot of people kind of compare him to Ozzie Smith a little bit in that aspect. I don't know. I mean, like, I just kind of, when I think of Hall of Famers, like, I think of, like the era that they played in, which for Omar, he played for a long time, but, primarily the 90s and, 2000, early 2000s, right? And when I think of that time period, if I think of all the great players, it takes a long time before I get to him. He's not anywhere near the top of the list for sure. Hey, what's up, man? Haven't seen you put out anything in a while. Hope everything's good. Yes, Mike, I am a small hall guy for sure. When it comes to the real baseball Hall of Fame, I am a small hall guy. I am. Age. Oh, of course he is. Of course he is, Bill. Of course he is. And I actually had that well, not really that conversation. It wasn't really necessarily about the Hall of Fame, but I just had a conversation with somebody the other day about Westbrook because they were kind of questioning some things about him. And it's funny to me. And, you know, like I totally get like people that like guys like Kurt Schilling and, you know, just the guys that get criticized a lot for whatever reason, because that's, you know, Westbrook is my favorite player in basketball. And, you know, he's one of those guys he's highly criticized. I mean, not for the same reasons that a guy like Schilling is, but some of the things that you hear about Westbrook, oh, he's too selfish. Well, he's led the league in assists several times. They're like, he's not efficient. You look at his player efficiency rating, he's in the top 25 all time in player efficiency rating. He had a 3-year stretch where he finished second, third, and first in the whole NBA. Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff. One of the things people criticize Westbrook for is, oh, he gets too many rebounds. Like, I mean, you know, I think whenever people are somewhat polarizing, people will oftentimes look for reasons to criticize them, whether they're valid or not. But yeah, he's one of those polarizing guys too. So yeah, all the guys out there that are fans of, you know, people that are polarizing and highly criticized, I totally feel your disappointment on that. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Mike's putting me on the spot here, or he's putting some. I don't know if it's for me, but I'll answer it anyway. I would. I mean, it's those guys. Like I don't know. I'm the type of guy, I guess, that, you know, if you were one of the absolute greatest of all time, yeah, I think you deserve to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, because at the end of the day, it's a museum. It's supposed to be a museum that, you know, showcases the greatest players in the history of the game. And, you know, there's people in there that have been inducted that have, you know, done far worse than those guys have. There's a lot of guys in there that have done the exact same thing that those guys have, I would argue. Some of the recent guys that got in. Let's see. Yeah, Sheffield, he did. And it was interesting. Like some of the guys in the middle of the pack, they did. A lot of those guys gained some ground. Dustin Pedroia, he had a great start to his career, but I think the injuries may have got to him too much. I mean, he's not going to have the counting stats, I don't think, to get in. But if you look at the peak of his career, he had a Hall of Fame worthy peak for sure. Let's see. Yeah, I can get on board with that. I mean, that's kind of the way I think about it is, you know, like I said, there's people in there that have done far worse than Bonds and Clemens. Well, all right, guys. I appreciate everyone hopping on, hanging out for a bit. Like I said, I will put the link to these channels in the description of the video. You know, once again, I think Mike deserves a lot of credit for doing this because, you know, he knows every year there's going to be a lot of criticism, and, you know, it just kind of goes with the territory of, you know, putting something together like this, but it does a lot of good. I think the good that it does outweighs the negativity that sometimes will come along with it. So, but everybody, you know, get out there and participate. Let your voice be heard, right? All right, guys, I will catch you later.